Hi guys, and welcome to the weigh-in video of May. This evening it's about 8:30. It's still light, but it's very cloudy and really breezy and boiling hot. That was a weather report. I'm not sure why. Oh, there's a storm coming as predicted. Oh god. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh. Wow. Wow. By the way, if you're ever in England and you want to make short talk about the weather, we talk about it all the time. Anyway, we have my Chihuahua here, and recently I did a video finally announcing his name, so if you haven't seen that and you don't want the surprise to be spoiled, go click on that. But if you have, you will know he is now called Drogo, and we will be weighing him today. Now last month he was 45 grams. I don't know if he's grown, we shall see. He is 44 grams, so he's dropped a gram. He seems to have sort of got to about 45 in March and sort of stayed in that area. So is this where he maxes out? I don't know. We shall have to see. Next up we have Diego. So he actually joined me on live stream recently on YouNow, and there's a clip of him that is so adorable. He is just sort of daydreaming, staring at the comment section. But if you do watch me on YouNow, if you do, I don't know, give me bars and stuff like that, we have the top 30 contributors of the last 30 days. So thank you very much to them. But for now we're gonna weigh Diego. I'm kind of getting the boys out first just because I want to focus on the girls more in this video. But last month Diego was 94 grams. And this month he is 93 grams. So losing a gram, you know, he probably just gone to the toilet. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. 93 is still a great weight. Next we have Minnie. Now before we start talking about the girls and everything, I want to quickly do a shout out to everyone on Patreon. Thank you for supporting me there. Especially Sarah, Tobias, Jeff, Nathan, Laura, Nicole, Sophie, Jennifer, Van, Ingrid, Kim, Tracy, Tana and John. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Now, with the girls, this time of year is just a pain. Oh, okay, goodbye, Minnie. Minnie, if you come around here a sec, like you can still be on camera. Oh, sorry, come here. Come here. Okay, well she's just going to do her thing over here. But if you see my video called The Ovulation Situation, I talk about this time of year where girls will just stop eating and they are currently ovulating. They might not lay those eggs, they could reabsorb them, but it does mean they go off food for a good few months, and it can be extremely worrying. And even though it happens every single year with my girls, it still worries me because they will sometimes drop a tremendous amount of weight. Now, Minnie and Gizmo have actually eaten a little bit this year, well lately anyway, so I am happy. Whether or not that's going to affect their weight, I'm not sure, so we shall see. So last month Minnie was 52 grams, and I'm really hoping she hasn't lost too much. So let's just pop you in here, Minnie. She's still 52 grams. I'm so glad of that, because if you look at her, she isn't like the chunkiest girl. She doesn't hold on her weight very well at all. Let's just quickly pause the video right here, because the day after filming, Minnie actually laid the first egg of the season. So usually once one female lays it, the rest follow. And this one, it was freshly laid because it was kind of gooey. And also it appears that her claw may have accidentally pierced part of it, so yolk was coming out of it. But it's okay because it's infertile. She hasn't been bred with. But this is probably a good sign that Ziggy will lay them soon. I'm not sure about Gizmo. We'll take a break from the Leopard Geckos and we'll look at Lyra, obviously a crested gecko. She has been fairly chunky and had some weird behaviour, like I'll find her hiding in planters and I'm convinced she's laying eggs, but she probably isn't. But she always looks a very... Are you going to jump? They love the crested geckos, well, when I had Isla as well, love the tripod. Yeah, they'll climb on the tripod. Anyway. What I've been doing with her and Drogo is actually trying out Pangea. I have a whole range of Pangea flavours. We're trying them out. I'm going to do a big old review once I've tried everything out, seeing what they like. Anyway, last month she was 48 grams. So if we just get her off this tripod and pop her in here. She's 49 grams, so she's going back up again. She's a little chunk, but I love her very much. Next we have Gizmo, and as you may know, she is my eldest female. She's done this many years now, laying eggs and so on and so forth. Just bend your leg back here. Makes it look more normal. And this year it's been weird. I haven't really noticed eggs in her. I haven't noticed her being particularly bulbous around this area, so I don't really know if she's going to lay eggs. She was obviously refusing food like the females normally do, but I had a thought. This isn't always a good one, because sometimes I make tittish decisions. But so I was watching something where they said about, I think it was crested geckos or something, how certain times of year in captivity you may notice they are far more into their insects than they are into their fruit powder, and vice versa. And that could be a reflection on what's going on in the wild. So when fruit is readily available, they will go through that. When insects are readily available, they'll go through that. So I had a thought. Because she would take waxworms and she would take Morio worms, what if I just let her have them? Not excessively, not tons, but I let her have some food, because maybe this time of year, if this is naturally what they would do in the wild, because every single year my girls will do this, what if in the wild they would just hunt out fatty things? I don't know if it's going to be true, I don't know, but seeing your gecko lose so much weight is the most painful thing, and it makes me so upset. So I'm trying something different this year. I'm giving in to her a little bit. I'll be interested to see how this works out during autumn and winter, whether she actually goes back on like crickets and mealworms, or if she gets like really picky and stays with waxworms, which I don't want. Anyway, the last 2 months she's been at 53 grams. She did a 5-gram drop after February, so I'm hoping we've sort of stabilised her a little bit more. So last month she was 53, let's see, 48. She's actually lost another 5 grams. How is that possible? How can you eat Morio worms and waxworms and still lose a lot of weight? The other interesting thing is obviously her age. She will be 12 this year, and as I said, I'm not 100% sure if she's going to be laying eggs. There is actually a thing where leopard geckos go through menopause, and they say the average age is about 9, but that's sort of breeding females, ones who are bred repeatedly, so they don't know if it's to do with their age or whether they just run out of eggs. So I do wonder if she's going into retirement, as it were. I don't know, it's a shame she's lost so much weight though. That is slightly concerning. And finally, we have Ziggy here. Now, as you can see, she is chunky. She is carrying 2 massive eggs in her. When she goes up to the side of her tank, which she often does, you can actually see there is almost a bump there. These eggs, well, last year her 2 eggs were absolutely massive. I'm hoping for a much easier delivery this year. And the other day, actually, I noticed when she was out on me, she'd be walking around and every now and again she would stop. And then you would notice these very slight twitches, and I believe they're somewhat like contractions. I knew the eggs would be there straight away, but what I feel like what's happening is they're almost like getting the eggs in position. And I've seen her do this before, I've seen Gizmo do this before, and it can be like up to 2 weeks like before they actually lay those eggs, they do that. So I honestly feel like they could come out any day now. I see her walking around her tank kind of at odd times. She was up on her cliff thing the other day cleaning her cloaca. She's a bit of an odd gecko, but I feel like sometimes they get a little restless when there are eggs coming along, so that might be it. The other thing is she is my youngest gecko. She is half the age of Gizmo. She will be 6 this year, and when it comes to this time of year, she has not eaten a thing. And yet she will retain her weight so much better than the other girls. So she was 71 grams last month, and she's 69 grams this month. So this is how weird geckos are. We can have Gizmo, who will eat kind of junk food and lost 5 grams, and a gecko who hasn't eaten absolutely anything for months and has lost 2 grams. Now, as I said, this is common with girls this time of year, but I don't want you to overlook any other issues. So if your girl is going through this, if she isn't an adult, or if she is acting strange or really losing weight or something concerns you, take her to the vet. Don't just assume she is just doing this. Normally you can see the eggs in there. They aren't exactly what you think they'd be. Normally they're like an sort of a, oh, you're going? Okay. Sometimes they're like a circle and they have like a red glow on the outside. A lot of pictures where I show the eggs, I will up the contrast and everything so you can really see them. But that's kind of what they look like inside. Last year there was a picture of Ziggy's belly from May, and you can really see those eggs. So Ziggy's now walked off, but thank you for joining me in this video, and goodbye.